Welcome to Faith on Tap, a podcast where we go out to the wilds of local breweries and talk to you about, thoughts and various topics that are important to all of us. And we're here with Liz.
Hello.
And we're also, on my left, here with the prophet of purpose.
Wow. All right, I'll take that one.
Oh, you're taking it. Wow.
I'll take that one.
I'm getting better in my old age. I think it's the second one in a row you liked. All right, today we're asking a classic question. Well, I think it's a classic question anyways. It's a superpower question. The toughest part, I think, is to try to find some Christian meaning through it, the question. But the question is, we're going to be asking people, if you had a choice of a superpower between flight or invisibility, what would you choose and why? Now, I am the one who came up with this question. I came up with this question basically because, I'm not a big party guy, and when I go to parties, I get bored usually with discussions. So I will ask questions like that because I start off questions like, so why do you think the universe bothers to exist? Then people started walking away from me. Mm-hmm. So this was actually inspired from a podcast that we listened to.
It was on This American Life. John Hodgman asked those questions.
Yeah, it was about 20 years ago.
That's quite a while ago.
It stuck with me. When we ask the questions, they might ask, like, what are the rules, et cetera. And what we say is, if it's flight, you can carry the maximum of your own weight, and the speed at which you can go is the speed of a jet plane, say. So that would be the requirements for flight. And for invisibility, the rules would be you can become invisible at will. You're not invisible your whole life, just when you want to be. And whatever clothes you put on, you become invisible. So those are the rules that we're playing by. And I will also start off by asking ChatGPT this question. And how do you think ChatGPT would have answered this?
I think it would have chosen invisibility.
And the prophet of purpose?
I think invisibility also. It just makes more sense.
Well, ChatGPT said, that's a classic dilemma. I'd go with flight. There's something freeing about the idea of soaring above everything, feeling the wind, and traveling wherever you want without obstacles. Plus, the world will look amazing from above.
Yeah, they got it wrong.
Well, I'll ask, since Liz, you've been dwelling on this question for 20-something years, I know you have your opinions on this. So what would you have to say?
First time I heard this question so many decades ago, I went with invisibility.
Because?
I think it's this sense of insecurity and wanting to, see what people were saying when there was a sense of insecurity and distrust, I believe. I don't feel that way anymore, and I'm pretty sure I would choose flight now.
Because?
For a lot of the reasons ChatGPT said. And I remember this from the John Hodgman podcast. One of the people said, there's something about flight that speaks to the better angels of our nature, where it is something more exposed and obvious to the world. But invisibility is something about hiding and just sneaking inside yourself. And I agree with that now.
Okay. Right.
Well, that's just way too deep for me.
Okay. So what do you say?
Well, I picked invisibility, and I thought about it quite a bit. I don't know if it's my movie genre that I enjoy, action and adventure, but I can see being invisible and just doing espionage and saving the world on a weekly basis.
I see.
Flight, I don't care for heights all that much, so it wouldn't be so freeing. But to use invisibility, not as a sense of hiding from myself and or hiding, worried about what people are going to say, but walking into the KGB headquarters and just saying, here we go.
Well, we're going to probably revisit this question after we talk to our guest and see what they have to say and give our opinion. Because remember, podcast, we're trying to give our Christian perspective. So we're going to be doing that after, which will be interesting. So let's hear what the guests have to say.
Hey, quick shout out to Freedom Foods, food truck out here at Bad Dog Brewery. Yes. Just had their Philly cheesesteak. It was very good. So come on down tonight and eat.
In Torrington, Connecticut. Yes.
And
if you're from Germany or Poland, maybe not.
Yeah, you may not want to. And I had the absolutely lovely chicken bacon ranch wrap, and they're it's delicious and really reasonably priced, which is very good.
Okay.
have a choice of one superpower. Are you going to choose flight or invisibility?
And why?
You have to be over here to answer it, though.
Joe, careful. One of these makes you perfect. Just saying. Heads up.
So we got Billy's again.
Okay,
One
so
of these
now
makes
we
you
have
perfect.
Joe. It is.
Yep.
Okay, Joe, tell us.
I would say the obvious answer would be invisibility.
Really?
Not because I'm a pervert. It's way more versatile than flying.
So what are you doing? You have this gift. What are you doing with it?
The limitations are endless. I don't know.
I bet.
What are you doing with it, Billy?
I'm having flight. I want to fly like a bird.
with invisibility? Literally anything. You could sneak in anywhere you want in the world to figure out what's
So
going on.
what's our-
So you're going to be a villain.
What's on your
A
first?
master from
My ex-girlfriend's house. No, I'm kidding. I'm just kidding.
Boom.
invisibility. Guys can't choose invisibility. Automatically makes the pervert. Society standard has to be flight. Women can choose invisibility. A weird double standard.
No.
Guys can't do that. We're not privy to that.
I just want to fly. That'd be cool.
Right? Wouldn't it be cool?
It just cut down on travel.
like
so
through the
much
Grand
quicker.
Canyon.
Yeah.
But are you afraid of heights?
I
Yeah.
wouldn't be if I
am.
knew I wasn't going to fall when you hurt.
That's true.
But if I was born like a bird, I wouldn't. Be. So
Right?
maybe. But I am. I am afraid of heights. And I don't really like playing too. So.
No, I'm the
But I think it'd be more useful. It's
the fear is the fear of falling to our deaths. But if we could fly, we know we weren't going to die.
I think the most useful would be like teleporting.
Yeah.
Just like boom.
Teleporting.
There. So that's like flying's like kind of almost. Just be
Teleport.
convenient.
Yeah, right?
It's like there.
Here in London,
Be more efficient. Be able to do more
Africa,
stuff.
Australia.
So you can't see. I mean, so if the limit was 1,000 miles an hour, so you could actually make it from here to Europe in a couple hours.
What can the
That's
body
okay?
do for speed here? Well, I guess you have superpowers to fly. So your skin's probably ultra resistant. So
And you probably have a cool cape and something like that. Yeah.
some sort of
No capes.
cool spandex suit or something, you know. So how fast can a human body travel before it
In this universe, you can go 1,000 miles an hour
before our skin starts?
before your skin starts doing anything.
You're good.
No, I'm good. Yeah.
That's part of the
I don't even
superpower.
Feel what that feels like. Probably doesn't feel good. 1,000 miles an hour just on your face
Well, you better have safety goggles on.
or something. Yeah. Yeah, exactly. Your eyes are pushing your eyes. And then
Well, we would need new legislation for flying people.
weird conversation. They probably tax it too. It's a pretty weird conversation
You gotta get a license
to fly.
I mean, that makes sense.
Past a certain Mach 5 or whatever it is.
We don't have licenses to walk, though. So, but if flying came natural, then would we need a license to fly?
If that's your superpower.
You're taxed to breathe and to drink, so eventually, actually you are taxed to walk. About 45% of your income.
Gentlemen, can't thank you.
Thank
enough.
you so much.
You guys.
We got dark there, so let's
did.
end on a much lighter note.
Okay.
Here's another question.
Sure.
Totally different.
Okay.
It's about superpowers.
Oh, I love these.
Okay. You have the choice, and you can ask any question you want.
Okay.
You have the choice between invisibility or flying. What will you choose and why? Feel free to ask any follow-up question.
When it comes to flying, am I actually like flapping, or is it like a floaty kind of thing?
No,
or like a
It's like what Superman
It's a
could
super-
do.
okay.
Say, and other prerequisite, you can fly as fast as a normal plane, jet plane.
Best question
Okay,
with the invisibility,
with invisibility,
is it a constant or is
no,
it by choice?
you will it.
You will it. Okay.
You get to choose.
Okay. So as a needy Libra who always needs to know what everybody is thinking, I'm gonna have to go with invisibility.
And what are you doing with that? What are you doing with your
I need to know
invisibility?
what everybody is saying at all times, constantly, so I can help make the best decisions. So I don't have to pick the wrong restaurant.
Is that the real reason
No,
why? Come on, be honest. Why do you want to know? Why
I
do you
want to
wanna
know what
people
everyone's
think?
saying about me. Let's be honest.
What are they saying about you?
God knows. Probably not good things at all. Yeah, no. I think that
So
my
you're
fragile
so a
ego.
given day, it's a regular day in your life. You're going to choose invisibility now, and tell me what your day's like.
well, let's see here. Probably setting up a set of drama and then be like, oh, I'm going to go to the bathroom. And then like coming back invisible and sitting in and listen to all the tea that I just spilled all over the place.
So I have a question for
Yes.
you. Is there a way to use your superpower of invisibility for good, and are you doing it?
There definitely are ways to use it for good. I mean, I would think, gosh, there's a scene like in a movie that's coming to my mind. I can't remember the movie for the life of me right now, but it's like there's like a kid and they wanted something, and like the shop owner is being a dick about it or something, and someone's invisible and they like float the candy to the kid and something like that. So I'm 100% that person. I used to be an annual pass holder at Disneyland, and I literally would go just to like watch the kids meet their characters and just that smile, that magic, that moment.
Mm-hmm.
I think I would 100% sneak into Disneyland and like hand kids things that like people couldn't afford and stuff like that. That's obviously very superficial, but I love that joy.
I appreciate your motive.
I'm still stealing from a corporation, but it's an evil corporation. Let's be honest. They can handle it. They'll be fine.
Okay, fair. Okay.
But yeah, I mean,
are you going to stop bank robbers? Because I was asked this question earlier today, so I'm not.
If I
I'm not
going to
tell you what I said. I want to hear what you said.
Where I can like trip them or like string them up by their underpants.
Would you steal from the rich to give to the poor?
I mean, I'm poor, so yes. I mean, like when we're talking rich, we're talking about like the Bezos, the Elon Musk, the people who are like rich and kind of dicks about it. Hell yeah. Am I going to steal from somebody who, is rich but also giving back to the community? No. If they're out there with Habitat for Humanity building houses after a hurricane or something like that, okay, you get to have your riches. You're looking into saving people from cancer. That's fine. You just are like having 45,000 kids so that you can repopulate the earth all on your own. I'm probably going to steal from you and give it to somebody who actually needs it.
Okay. Yeah. All right. Thank you. Really appreciate you spending time with us.
Awesome. Well, I appreciate your opinion.
Well, so where am I going to be able to listen to this?
So we have a question for you. It's a very simple question, and you can ask any follow-up you'd like. If you had any superpower between flight or invisibility, what would you choose off the top of your head and why? And you can change your mind during it too. It's okay.
I guess I would say flight because I like to travel and it would be cool to travel anytime I want for free.
So what would you do with that? So give me an example of your daily superpower usage during the day.
I'd avoid traffic getting to work. I'd probably fly down and visit my niece anytime I wanted to.
Where's your niece live?
Fort Myers in Florida.
All right. So you can fly as fast as a jet plane. So it'd take you still a couple hours, but it beats the traffic. And
yeah, exactly. I could go down, visit her for a couple hours, come back home.
So you're very pragmatic. You'd use your superpowers just to get things done, getting your work done.
Yeah, I would say, yeah. For once, I'd probably be selfish and use it for my own good.
Yeah, that's fine.
And then if it could help out others too, then
what would be a way that you think you could help others?
I don't know, transport other people. Yeah, I mean, I could fly with other people on my back.
Yeah, the rules of flight are you can carry as much as your own weight. So you can carry like one other person with you.
Okay,
That'd be helpful?
Yeah, I think so. You can get anybody where they need to go.
Okay, that's fantastic. I didn't get your first name, by the way.
Jessica.
Jessica, thanks.
You have a choice of two superpowers. Is it going to be flight or invisibility?
That's hard. Oh, I'm on a podcast. Okay, so what would mine be? I think life is so cool. Invisibility.
Okay, and talk to me why you would choose. I mean, we are both stunning women.
I agree.
So why are you choosing invisibility?
I think I did just like a flying everywhere all the time.
Okay, so it's your first day of invisibility. What's the first thing you're doing with this beautiful gift?
I won't see.
It's just kind of a cool idea.
I think it's just like, I mean, you think I read, well, I don't know. There's so many friends that I'm like, I question what they do and why they do.
Oh, interesting. What they're up to.
Yeah, what are they up to?
Do you think you'd ever use it for something like, I don't know, stopping a bank robbery? Not like there's a million of them, but you think you would ever do it to try to stop something from happening?
Sure. Yeah, I'm the good guy.
Oh, cool. I love that. That's so cool. And okay, well, and if you had to choose flight, what would you be doing with flight?
I would just be looking over everybody and be like, you stupid.
All right, I love that. That's really, really lovely. And your pupper is amazing.
So we listened to our guest, and let's give our opinions on what they had to say and what we feel. So, Dennis, what was your reaction to one or more of the guest?
Well, I was taken back a little bit by the comment that if you pick invisibility as a man, you're a pervert.
100% agree with that.
Yeah, I don't know. Espionage is a man's game, though.
No, I know, but you say that. But I think, and since we're talking from the Christian perspective, I think we would all go down to our lower instincts. And I know a lot of people would often say invisibility, and you think what you'd be doing with it. The whole espionage, how often would you really be able to do that? Where if you knew there's a conversation about you, you're going to be have a tendency to listen to that. Or if you are a pervert, if you can go to a woman's changing room, maybe that would be something that a lot of people would do.
Are you saying that all men are going to degrade into being perverts?
More or less, yeah.
I disagree.
Yeah. And I think most women want to do it for finding out what other people are saying about them. And both those reasons will have a lot of negative connotations. You might become out of that experience a much lesser of a person than you started. But that's my spin. Woman, what do you think?
Okay. Now, please take this seriously for a second, what I'm about to say, because you won't. But please do. There's an episode of Gilligan's Island.
Oh, boy.
where Gilligan discovers a plant where the seeds allows people to read each other's minds. And at first they're doing it all to be helpful and kind, and aren't they being supportive of each other? And then they started like picking up all these negative thoughts on each other, and next thing you know, it's mayhem, and they're all just like breaking friendships and just fighting and just feeling betrayed by each other. And I have a feeling invisibility would work a lot like the mind reading, because you have access to people's thoughts that you really shouldn't.
What about the Twilight Zone episode where he could read a person's mind after he flipped a coin, it stood on still? And remember, the outcome was similar. Yeah, he wanted that person arrested because he was working at a bank, and the person kept on saying to himself, "This is the day, 3:00. I'm going to go into the safe. I'm going to take the money, and then I'm going to run." And at 3:00, he called the cops and had him arrested. And they checked; he had no money. And the guy goes, "No, I don't have money." And everyone got mad at him.
So we're basing life on Gilligan's Island?
No, Twilight Zone. Especially Twilight Zone, because I didn't get to finish.
Understand that.
The end, the guy goes, "Well, how come you knew that was in my mind?" He goes, "Well, so you did think about it?" "Yeah, I think about that every day. That's how I survive my job. I hate my job, and the only way I can think about surviving is by making up these stories in my head." So I thought that was pretty profound.
It's a really good episode.
Not as good as Gilligan, but still.
Well, all I'm saying is both of them, Twilight Zone and Gilligan's Island, and lots of other shows that explore these kind of topics, they're on to something.
Yeah.
They are exposing
they're on the
real
darker side of, but that's not all.
That's
Gilligan's Island is definitely on the darker side of things. They are the 7 deadly sins after all. But
not everybody devalues into darkness all the time.
I believe that's our default.
That's kind of almost
in physics,
the heart
we call
of man,
that,
which will lead us into the next topic.
we call that entropy. Everyone breaks down to the lowest common denominator. We will break down into something that's easier to do. And
unless we are holding fast to Christ at all times, and then I'm not sure why you're using invisibility.
Right.
For
And-
espionage, like I said.
Because it happens so much right here in
Yeah.
It does actually.
Central
we just don't know
Connecticut.
about it.
Yeah. I think from what we talked to, did anyone say anything other than I think I had someone say flight, and it's more just for the practical nature. Well, it'd be easier to go from one place to another. It just saves me time. And that was
We did have the question of, do I have to flap or do I fly like Superman?
That's a fair question.
It's a fair question.
We just assured them that there were no capes.
No capes, but you didn't have to flap.
Yes, it was a Superman deal. Just fly like an arrow. But there was neither camp was supported with the whole "I'm going to stop espionage."
No, because
there was
you try
almost,
to justify that.
almost to the person. It was a more personal experience, and it really did not have anything to do with helping society in a larger way.
Because when you're honest with yourself, at first you're saying, "Oh, it's cool because I could spy, I could do this stuff," and then you say, "Well, what would I really do?" And then you think about human nature, and you go, "I'm going to end up using it for bad stuff. It's not going to be good."
Yeah, and even if I have the superpower of invisibility, who am I? I am not of any kind of physical stature that's going to be stopping any espionage unless they're elementary children trying to steal lunch money. There's really no one else I'm stopping. So
But you're invisible. You walk
So
in.
what am I going to do? I can stop 10-year-olds.
We're not talking. We're talking about gathering intel
Okay.
for governments that are willing to pay
Literally
top dollar price.
in the past week, you are the only person who's made this who's made this gesture.
It's because I think out of the box.
I think as a pastor, he's trying to justify his behavior.
All the people we spoke to who were talking about either superpower were not, they were more focused on adding to their own life rather than reaching out. So there was, what's that? Seek, belong. What's
serve?
Yeah, there was no serve. Seek, belong, serve. It was
seek, belong.
It was, yeah.
Well, I guess we're editing that out.
Yeah, it'll all be edited.
What any other hindsights from what people said that we heard that you want to comment on?
I don't think so.
Yeah, I do think a lot of people who have kids and stuff said, it'd be a lot better if I could just fly to get them from one place to another. They're very practical about it. I didn't hear any.
Well, then you had the teenage parents that say, boy, invisibility would be pretty good too.
I don't know. Again,
it's family espionage.
Do you really want to know what's going on all the time with the kids? I don't know if
not all.
Well, they tell you when they're adults, and it's like, I really shut up, stop.
Okay. All right. I guess that would conclude that section. But before we close, I would like you to cast your rating systems on where you download your podcast, and hopefully you'd like us and you rate us a 5. It really does help the algorithms and for us to reach more people, to have people. And I kind of hope that we're making a difference for the non-Christians. We're giving them a different opinion and have them ponder. And for the Christians who are listening, maybe some more ammunition, some more food for thought throughout the day. So I hope you find value. And if you do, please give us some good ratings. It does help us and we can reach more people. Thank you for that. Tune in next episode when you'll hear Dennis say,
"It lacks chutzpah."